very much for coming out to what should be a wonderful evening of music and a celebration, really, of the resilience of all of these young people on stage tonight throughout an unprecedented time in the history of our nation and of our world. There have been maybe, a few growing pains over the last 14 months that parents are now very familiar with of, making sure we log into the right Zoom at the right time, navigating online learning assignments, keeping up with them. But I think overall, Mrs. Hopeful and I feel comfortable speaking for both of us, have both been very inspired by the resilience of these children through the entire course of the pandemic. So let's just give a round of applause for these kids for making it here tonight. And obviously, thank you to you, all of our parents and families who have supported them through these trying times. So we really do hope that, years from now, 50, 60 years when these kids are talking to their kids and grandkids, that tonight will stand as one, kind of bright, shining moment of the beginning of the end of this time and kind of a highlight at the end of this pandemic for us. That said, we are still in a pandemic. So we do have just a couple of ground rules that we'd like to ask everybody follows tonight, which I think everybody's already been doing. So just as a reminder, in accordance with Park District and School District regulations, we ask that everyone wear a face mask when you're outside of your seating pods. Obviously, when you're in your seating pods, we invite you to take those off. And then, barring any emergency or runaway small children, if you would mind staying in your pods and waiting to move until a group is finished playing, we would appreciate that. Photography is absolutely encouraged, and especially if you can tag us on social media, please tag us on Twitter at Mr. Johnson Band or at James Hart Bands. That would be awesome because we are too busy to take photos tonight, so we would love to see some awesome photos and videos of the kids this evening. And we just ask as you take pictures to be courteous of those around you so you don't block the views of any other spectators. Again, to view tonight's program, because we are in a park and because, again, we don't want to pass out papers, you'll notice on the back of all of our seating signs there's a QR code to tonight's program. And we did notice that if you're on a phone, it looks a little better if you turn it sideways and have a landscape view, so we'd encourage you to do that. And last, before we get started, we do have a couple of entities that we want to thank for their help in making tonight's concert a reality, which I was talking to the kids earlier. Again, 7-8 months ago when we gave our last concert in a parking lot, I don't think we ever could have envisioned that this is what we would be sitting, this awesome scene, looking out at so many people in a park tonight. So we do want to say a huge thank you to our incredibly supportive administration, our superintendent, Dr. Dale Mitchell, who's retiring after 27 years in our district in just a month. So thank you to him, as well as our assistant superintendent, Dr. McAllister, our new principal, Mrs. Johnson, who I think is working the candy and registration table over there, our awesome assistant principal, Mrs. Hugo, who's been working the registration table over there, and our dean, Mr. John Hugo. So we'd like to say a big thank you and a round of applause to our administration. Also like to thank our many parent volunteers. We had several parents come out to help us spray paint all of these lovely audience pods on a Sunday afternoon, and we've had a number of parents that came early. We'll be staying late today and helping out with all of that. We've tried to list you all in the program, but if we have forgotten any of you, we apologize. And we also want to say a big thank you to the District 153 maintenance and ground staff who got all of this equipment over here from school, headed by Mr. Kevin Keene and Paul Klimzak, as well as the Homewood Flossmoor Park District and especially Recreation Supervisor Mrs. Shannon Ollison, who helped put all of this together. So a big thank you to our recreation and our maintenance departments. All right, with that, after, 7 months since our last concert in a parking lot and 14 months since our last concert not in a parking lot, it's time for the music. Would you please join me in welcoming our 6th grade concert band and their director, Mrs. Heather Hopeful.
we played that one in rehearsal, the wind would always pick up and start blowing our music over. So I was always afraid to even say the word. I'd be like, okay, pull out the happy rainbow sunshine song. But we were lucky tonight. I'd like to thank a couple students that are helping us out. We've got some 7th graders helping us out in the percussion section. Joseph Allison and Lucia Magan are helping us out. If you could give them a round of applause. And also Mr. Johnson we're hoping that they graduate him from 6th grade this year. We're not sure, we're hoping. Sorry, Mr. Johnson. I've got some students that I'd like to acknowledge. They earned their black belt in band karate this year, which means that they passed all of the exercises on the list for our method book. So it's quite an accomplishment. And as I call their names, if they could come up and please get their certificate, that would be great. And then maybe stand in a row so they can get a picture before you have a seat. So in no particular order, Annabelle Chai Dumpum, and she couldn't be there this evening, but Ada Kemi Williamson, Aubrey Schoitzo, Angel Odom, Kent Flores, Evie Zerbel, Annie Dito, and this last one earned 2 black belts because she plays percussion, so they have to finish the bell book and the percussion book, the drum book, and this is Maya Martinez. If you could just hold your breath, pull your mask down for a minute, just for a picture. Congratulations, you guys. Excellent job. All right, you can have a seat. Thank you. This next piece, Mama Sea Turtle, was inspired by a loggerhead sea turtle that I saw on the beach when I was in Florida. They're not supposed to be out on the beach during the day. They come up to lay their eggs at night. But I came down and this beautiful Mama Sea Turtle was next to me, and I got to watch her come down the beach, and then just once she got to the water, she just swam off. Like, she was so graceful. But on the beach, you know, she has flippers instead of feet, and so she kind of went like this. She went, and then her other one, and that made me think of the theme that you're going to hear at the beginning of Mama Sea Turtle. So I wanted to write another tune about water animals to go along with Mama Sea Turtle. So I asked the students what I should write about, and they said I should write about axolotls. How many of you know what an axolotl is? Okay. Yeah, that's more than I had no idea. So there's a picture of one in your program. They're pretty amazing. They can regenerate any body part at all. So scientists study them. They are Mexican water salamanders. So you're going to hear some Mexican sounding percussion instruments. And this is the last tune that the 6th grade band will play this evening, Axolotl Dance.